Why the Iran war talks collapsed. What comes next? Just day before a possible breakthrough, diplomacy collapsed and war began. What went wrong between Iran and the United States, and more importantly, what happens next? This is Times of UK, and today we break down the real reasons why the Iran war talks failed and why the world should be watching very closely. In the late February 2026, negotiations between Iran and the United States were closer than ever to a deal. Mediator even claimed a breakthrough was within reach, but within hours everything changed. Instead of signing a deal, the United States and Israel launched missile airstrike on Iran. The result, senior Iran leadership was killed, military infrastructure was targeted, and diplomacy instantly collapsed. Iran's response was immediate: why negotiate when we get attacked during talks? And just like that, talks turned into a war. So why did diplomacy fail? There is not just one reason, there are three major factors. First, zero trust between both sides. Years of tension created deep suspicion. Iran believed negotiations were a delayed tactic before attacks. The United States believes Iran was buying time for nuclear capability. Even during talks, either side changed its core position. In simple terms, they were talking but not trusting. The biggest issue, Iran refused to give up its right to enrich uranium. The US demanded strike limits or zero enrichments. This became the deal breaker. Iran leadership made it clear, we will not bow to pressure, and the United States said that as a growing threat. And the last one is military pressure replacement diplomacy. As talks settled, military buildup increased. US forces moved into the Gulf. Iran expanded missile readiness. Regional tension exploded. This created what experts call a security dilemma. Both sides tough. They were defending themselves, but each move looked like aggression to the other. Eventually, diplomacy could not keep up with escalation. Here's the uncomfortable truth. War may have become more likely than peace. Some analysts argue that Iran's strategy shifted from compromise to confrontation. Iran began to see conflict as a way to survive pressure, not avoid it. At the same time, the US wanted to eliminate long-term threats. Israel pushed for military action over diplomacy, and once strike began, there was no way back to the negotiating table. The situation today is rapidly evolving. Iran missiles infrastructure has been heavily damaged but not destroyed. The US says the war will continue until Iran is neutralized. Regional powers are now stepping in to restart diplomacy. Meanwhile, global oil price and economies are already feeling the impact. And one critical flashpoint remains: the Strait of Hormuz, through which nearly 20% of global oil flows. If that gets fully blocked, this conflict becomes a global economic crisis. There are three possible scenarios ahead. First, prolonged war, continued strikes, regional escalation, and proxy conflict spreading across the Middle East. This is the most likely short-term outcome. The second is countries like Pakistan, Turkey, and Yemen are trying to reopen talks, but this time trust is even lower and strikes are much higher. And the last one is a bigger regional conflict. If more countries get involved, Gulf states, Israel, and the United States bases across the region, this could turn into a full-scale Middle East war. The collapse of Iran war talks was not sudden, it was building for years. A mix of mistrust, red line, and rising military pressure pushed diplomacy to the edge and then over it. The real question now is not why talks failed, but whether diplomacy can survive what comes next. This is Times of UK, and stay informed.